Kelly Sheffield, the Wisconsin volleyball coach, our big interview. Coach, pretty interesting there. Let's start there with Lauren. It's a big change here in the offseason with her as a full-time member now of your coaching staff. What was it about her that led you to be so persistent that you wanted to get her on the staff?
Her number one, her love for the game and her love of studying the game. She probably watches as much film as any player that I've ever been around, probably as much as any coach I've ever been around. Her love of breaking down film. She's a great communicator, and being in the gym is even more than what I thought it would be. Her ability to communicate and keep things simple, and obviously she brings a lot of street cred to the program as far as to the players go, and they lean into her experience because she's been where they want to go.
Yes, when you're a four-time All-American, I'd say you have some street cred. No question about that. Coach, let's back up a little bit and just talk about where your team is right now. You're about to start the season. You got two huge games coming up this weekend. There are some other teams that have already begun action. We've already seen some Big Ten volleyball. It's been fabulous. What are the advantages, perhaps, of being able to sit back and watch everyone else start?
In one sense, it was kind of fun to watch, but on the other hand, like you said, it would have been really nice to be out there already. I think we just finished maybe the greatest first week in our sport. I thought the week 0, the level of competition. Then, we had a couple of 5-setters that were really compelling. And the other thing in our sport is you're getting the best teams that are willing to go out there and play each other. And I think that kind of makes this sport really, really unique. It's not just one or two of these matchups. You see them all over the place. And we're going into our opening weekend, and that's what we've got in front of us. We've got an elite Kansas team that have already played 10 sets. They played 2 5-setters already, so there's obviously they've been able to work out some of the bugs there, and and then about 36 hours later, we've got an elite Texas squad coming in.
You mentioned these teams playing one another, and you guys are a prime example, and you do this every year where you play high-profile games from the get-go. And we'll talk a little bit about your team, but obviously you lost some high-profile players from a year ago. What's the trade-off there? I mean, the notion of kind of saying, hey, we're going to dive into the deep end and see what we have, because I do think it's a great feature of the sport. I mean, man, there was so much excitement and so much buzz about college volleyball here this week. Obviously, we look at it from the Big Ten point of view, but not just the Big Ten, all over the country. What's kind of that trade-off for you as a coach of saying, okay, like we've got some unknowns, but we're going to dive in, we're going to play elite teams right away?
I think coaches are typically a lot of times fearful, but you got to get over that because everybody wants to see these. The fans want to see elite matchups. The players want to play against elite teams. The money that it brings into the area businesses and things. Everybody wants to see the best teams play each other, and so sometimes we get in our own way and we schedule something a little bit safer. But I've always taken the approach that I want to learn as much as I can about our team in the preseason. And so if we're able to do that and while we're able to get in the practice gym before school starts to fix some of those things, I think it just gives us a better edge as we're going down the road.
Well, let's focus on your team. Just 2 returning starters for you. You have 10 newcomers. 5 of them are transfers. What are the biggest questions that you have about your team as you head into these 2 huge matchups this weekend?
A lot of questions, but that's part of the fun. That's part of the joy, right? They haven't worked through hard things together yet, and so we're certainly going to be learning a lot. We've got some elite All-American players in Carter Booth that's going to her 3rd year, her last year as a college volleyball player. And you've got Charlie Furbringer, that is a returning All-American setter going into her sophomore year, and Mimi Collier, that is, one of the top outsides in the country. And so those are three really good experienced players. And, then we're kind of building hopefully some exciting players around them. But it's all got to come together. And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing us and in watching how we battle, how we problem solve.
The coming together part is so interesting. How do you build chemistry on a team where you have so much turnover?
Yeah, I mean it's everything, right? It's off the court. It's what is going to bind us together. What are our standards going to be? Having fun together, learning together, and then on the court, who's going to be the voices? Where's our leaders coming from? Who are those players that when you walk down a dark alley or against a tough opponent that you look to them and you're like, all right, we're all good here. Yeah. Their confidence rubs off on everybody. Those are the things that we're trying to learn, and I think our fan base is going to have so much fun watching this team grow. It doesn't mean that we don't have we start with a lot of talent. That's an easy place to start from, but I think our fans are really going to enjoy watching this team grow as we're moving through this season.
I'm guessing that everyone who talks to you, Coach, asks you some variation on the question, how do you replace Sarah Franklin? So I do not claim to be an original interviewer when it comes to these things, so I'm going to ask you exactly that question. She's two-time Big Ten Player of the Year. How do you replace Sarah Franklin?
Yeah, I don't know if you can, and I don't know if we necessarily were. There's not Sarah Franklins. You don't have Anna Smreks. You don't have those players growing on trees. But getting a Mimi Collier certainly helps. Her game is probably about as close, and in some ways better. There's other ways that Sarah. Both of them are elite players. Both of them are elite tacklers, elite arms, elite competitors. And so we were really, really fortunate to be able to get somebody like Mimi to come in here for our last year.
I do want to ask you a little bit about the matchups this weekend. You were talking about Kansas, and we saw them play. I mean, man, they gave Penn State everything they could handle. It's just a fabulous match. So I know on one hand, and you kind of said it, hey, they got 10 sets now that they've already played that you guys haven't played. So clearly there's an advantage there for them. But how about the advantage for you, especially in this portal era, and there's just so many players changing places, to kind of know what they have? Like, what did you learn about Kansas that maybe they haven't been able to learn about you, frankly?
I mean, you're right. We're sitting there going, man, what a huge advantage they've got of being able to play two matches in front of a crowd. And I'm sure they're sitting over there saying, what a huge advantage that they're able to watch us play, and we've got nothing on them. The bottom line, when that ball gets up there, you've got to play clean. And Matt did a great job of taking over that program and keeping some talent, but also bringing some elite talent in. It was really tough. You don't really see what he did in the first two matches. You don't really see that too often. He went with two different setters, both elite setters. He went with 4 different outside hitters in those two matches. Changed his DSs up from match to match. You typically don't see that kind of depth and range after 2 matches, especially when you win the first one. So there's a lot to prepare for, certainly, but we're also, I think a philosophy of ours is it's early matches. It's more about us than it is about our opponents. So we'll give our players a little bit about them, but the focus is certainly going to be on the Badgers.
Coach, I want to leave you with this, and I feel like I ask you some variation on this every single time we talk, but it just strikes me, 13 years now at Wisconsin, you think about where this sport was when you took over and then where it is now. And you were already talking about the excitement around this opening week of volleyball nationally. Like, what goes through your mind when you see what the sport has become?
I was just on the phone right before here with Jamie Gordon, who's the executive director of the AVCA, and it was almost like a hype call for both of us. There's a lot of excitement. I think adding John Cook on the calls was a great move. So happy that he's involved because he has so much to be able to offer and offer our fans that are watching on broadcast. It's you see the TV responding, you see the fans responding. It's just every year we just keep climbing, and I think we are in for the best Big Ten season yet for all of us as a conference.
That's saying something, because it's been fabulous here and been great for us. I know our fans love it. Coach, really appreciate your time. Best of luck coming up here this weekend, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
You can see Kelly Sheffield's Badgers in action 7 Eastern time on Friday, part of the opening Spike Classic as they take on that Kansas team we were talking about. It'll be followed at 9:30 Eastern time by Creighton and Texas. It's only on the Big Ten Network and, as always, on the Fox Sports app.